Okay, so eyes back here. Okay, looking back here at the board, checking your answer. You guys have just told me that if I take a constant and I multiply it by a binomial, that constant affects each term inside. So when I write this out, I need to make sure that I take the 3 and multiply it by negative 2m. And I also take the 3 and I multiply it by 4. So when I multiply these, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and then m plus 12. So that should be the solution that you guys get for A. Okay, Maddie?
Multiplying in B, is it the negative times the negative positive?
Good. All right, so eyes this way because a lot of you didn't try to do B on your own. So if we look at B, one of the things that Maddie has just said is that we need to make sure that we're aware of these two negatives. So Maddie said negative times a negative we know is positive. So I'm going to get positive 2n squared. What do I get for my second term then? How does that affect it? What'd you say, Hannah? No? Someone did. Sarah? Negative. Okay, it's going to be a negative, but when you multiply, how does that affect that? Negative times positive. Joe?
Negative 4n.
Good. Okay. And then what about our last term? What happens with the last term? What happens with the last term? Nicole? Good. Okay. So this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. When I ask you to do it this way, you guys knew that this affected each of these terms inside. Really what's happening if I write it out is I'm taking this negative 2, I'm multiplying it by negative n squared. I'm taking negative 2, I'm multiplying it by 2n, and I'm taking negative 2 and I'm multiplying it by 1. You know what the solution's supposed to be. Shh. When I ask you guys to model something like this, though, it's going to be a little bit different. If I said to you guys, how do you draw this? 2 times negative n squared plus 2n plus 1. Well, you guys would know that if I gave you that, 2 times negative n squared plus 2n plus 1, all of you would know how to draw these tiles. You'd give me 2 groups of this. So you'd give me the one group, so a negative n squared, 2 n tiles plus 1. So I'd have 2 groups of this. The problem is if I ask you guys to model a question like this, how do you model with this negative constant? Well, what's the relationship between negative 2 and positive 2? What's that relationship that they have? Tim?
They have the same number.
Okay, they're the same number, but what are they in relationship to one another? Good. They're both the same distance away from 0, Braden said. And when they're both the same distance away from 0, they're opposites of each other. So if you know how to model this, the model for this one is just going to be the opposite, exact opposite. So if you know this, for here, when I have negative 2 times negative n squared plus 2n plus 1, to model, and you need to write this down, we reverse color the product of 2 multiplied by negative n squared plus 2n plus 1. So if this is the model of that, the reverse coloring is going to be the opposite. It's going to be 2 positive n squareds, 4 negative n tiles, and 2 negative 1s. It's the reverse coloring.